What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I don't want to create any FUD or create any panic in any way, but I wanted to give you guys the real information, the most realist information that I can find on the internet. Like some people that will just give you purely negative news, they will not give you the positive side of what we could be looking at. That definitely has more of a negative sentiment to it, right? A negative feel to the overall news that comes out. They really feed off of that and never really provide anything that could be positive that comes from it. And we want to know that FUD is spreading that fear that's going to make people absolutely sell and get out of the position and have no ability to increase from where they are and just have no hope, right? That's not what I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to give you some information that you guys can get some news, maybe react off of it, and then react when things start to get normal or become normalized, right? So in this video today, I wanted to talk about AMC's, the reverse stock split, the dilution that's happening and, more dilution, potentially more that could happen for AMC and what that can mean for AMC. Now, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you want to follow me on Twitter at Perry8K, you can follow me over there. Don't forget about some of the links that are in the description. It does help out the channel. Now, I recently made a video on the reverse stock split and what has happened with that. It was a 10-to-1 split that, basically gave you less shares, kept you at the same amount when it comes to your balance until we saw things decrease. But we really saw things decrease before the stock split actually happened, the reverse stock split happened. But you did see that, a zero was taken off of how much you had, right? If you had 10,000, you now have 1,000. If you had 1,000, you now have 100. And I went from 1,300 to about 130. Which is not something I like to see because I always want to make sure that I understand the shares and how much I'm gaining off of those shares there, the simple math that could happen. And now it's more complex math because you have to factor in the dilution. You have to look at the market cap and see where the market cap was and how much you can make off that market cap as it does hit all-time highs or grows back to all-time highs. Now, just to understand where we've come from and how far we've come, right? Basically, we're looking at this at a level to where I believe it was at $2 when we did see the reverse split. Correct me if I'm wrong, or it was close to it. And that means that we would have seen about a $20 price. Now, this is all the way down to a $12 price, meaning that it would be down to $1.20 at the moment, right? At that level of seeing the reverse split, but also seeing the dilution of APE into AMC. So it's kind of a combination of the two, right? The dilution, which gives you less that you're getting back, and it's going to be more difficult for you to get up to those points. But then also the reverse split, which really doesn't change anything. It just gives you a higher price point of what you are holding, right? Typically, companies will do that to survive the delisting, right? Phase that they could have. So anyways, there is a chance and a big chance that we could see even more dilution that could happen. And I don't want this to be FUD and panic and people that are like, I don't know what to do at this point. Like I don't know if I should just sell everything and just absolutely give up on AMC. That's totally on you. Take all of this news, everything everybody's saying, and make your own move, right? There are a ton of people that have already, sold off. There are a ton of people that are sticking to it, that have averaged down, that have put into some of these positions. And the crazy thing is, you would still be averaging down as you were at a price of $75 or so, or whatever it was, right? $70+ But currently, as you can see on the screen, like I said, I have a cost basis of $215.06. That is a high price. And you would think that it, comparatively to where it was, that it would be at a price to where maybe that's not even a quarter of a way there to the peak point. But I did the math in my previous video, breaking this all down and seeing how far it would have to be for me to get to it. Now, the highest market cap that this has gotten to, right, if I'm showing the screen, we're currently sitting at around a $2 billion market cap. It's like 1.8 or 1.9. And if we got up to the highest point, which is a $28 billion market cap, that would still only be a $174 price. So we would need it to skyrocket above the previous high in order to get to that level with the dilution factored in. Without the dilution factored in, it would have been a much easier situation, right? We saw a 10-to-1 split. We had about 500 plus million shares, right? So we would have been looking at about 54 million shares that are there, 50 million shares. But then with the dilution with APE that was added into it, we're now looking at, so much more in total. So the dilution is a big portion of what we've seen here. So anyways, in order for me to get back to my break-even point, we would need to get to $34.5 billion, which is about $6.5 billion higher than what the highest point of AMC was at during this overall squeeze point that we've seen. It wasn't the full squeeze because we know it can go a lot higher than that market cap wise, push wise, but it definitely needs to go to a higher point. So taking that all into account, there's a lot of people that are panicking because if we see more dilution, what does that mean, right? If we see dilution where they're adding another 40 million shares and it gets to 200 million, I was going to say coins, 200 million shares that are available. Well, now we're basically saying that, let's say, I'm trying to figure out maybe some quick math. Sometimes it makes it a little bit difficult. I don't even know what I'm trying to figure out right now. Let's say if I wanted to get to a $200 or $300 price, right? $300 price point, and it does get dilution, what would the market cap have to be? So it would have to be like this. There may be a black screen that comes up, times this. And this is what you get, right? So it would be a $60 billion market cap if they decided to add 40 million more shares. Now, I don't know what they're deciding to add, but I know dilution is inevitable, right? And the reason why I'll say dilution is inevitable is because you got to understand the amount of debt that AMC has. While they're being profitable and you're seeing, single digit millions worth of net income in a positive form rather than a negative form, while it means a lot and while it's definitely a step up, it's not enough to pay off the multiple billions of dollars that they have in debt. So it's something that will definitely happen as they are approved to have this happen. So while we're seeing a price of $215, we're going to need this to get up to $300 or $500 or whatever. And eventually, once they get back to a form of normalcy, in the long run, this might take a longer time to fully process. You'll see the split happen again, right? As it does get up to a higher price. But that's only with the survival of AMC, and it depends on a lot more than just the hedge funds now. So instead of the hedge funds being the biggest point and like, hey, if the hedge funds give up, we make so much money, there's more than that. There's like 3 or 4 levels or steps or pieces to the puzzle that we need to have in there as well. One of those big pieces being the survival of AMC and making sure that they can pay off those billions of dollars worth of debt. As well as seeing the improvement of the business and seeing the net income increase so that they can finally, turn a huge profit to show that they can survive, right? So there's so much to it. And I think I didn't want to scare people, but I definitely want you guys to consider every single piece to this puzzle. Because I hope that you guys found a way maybe to get out before the dilution and get back in. I don't know. I'm still in it. I have $130 or 130 shares currently, and it may be more of a long game. And some people might be looking for that short-term output, and I'm looking for anything to happen within the short term or the long term. Because it honestly is that, where if it happens in the next 5 years and AMC gets back to normal and they get up to a higher price where they do have a split again, a 10-to-1 split or something like that, well, now we can start to see even more benefits from it. But it may be more of a long game than people think, because it looks like we're trying to basically have the business completely survive. And that's what I want. That's my end goal, is to have the business survive, because the business itself means more to me than the investment that I put into it. Does that make sense? So anyways, Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more videos like this one. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.